Ambassador Zix Theta had prepared for this moment for the equivalent of 3 Earth decades. The Galactic Council's protocols for first contact were precise, refined over millennia of welcoming primitive species into the cosmic community. She materialized in Times Square at exactly noon, her crystalline form refracting the sunlight into prismatic rainbows, her ceremonial tendrils waving in patterns that had made entire civilizations weep with their beauty. "Greetings, humans of Earth," her voice boomed through perfectly calibrated sonic harmonics. "I come in peace too. Yo, lady, you're blocking the crosswalk." Zix Theta's 12 eyes swiveled downward to find a human in a grease-stained apron glaring up at her. Before she could respond, chaos erupted. "Oh my God, are you from space? Can I get a selfie?" A teenager shoved a rectangular device in her face. "Fresh kebabs. Special price for aliens. 2 for $5. Miss, have you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal savior?" The crowd surged forward, and Zix Theta found herself surrounded by a cacophony of voices, flashing lights, and waving papers. Someone handed her a hot dog. Another person slapped a sticky label on her ceremonial sash that read INY. A woman in a business suit thrust a business card into her smallest appendage while talking rapidly about mutually beneficial trade opportunities. "Please," Zix Theta warbled, her universal translator struggling with the overlapping conversations. "I must deliver the council's message off. 15% off your first ride." A man in a yellow vest pressed a flyer into her sensory organ. "Download the app." The carefully rehearsed speech about humanity's potential for greatness died in her throat as 3 different street musicians began competing performances around her. A living statue painted silver started mimicking her movements, drawing laughs from the crowd. When Zix Theta attempted to demonstrate her species' technological superiority by activating her holographic display, a teenager with multicolored hair snorted, "That's it. My phone has better resolution." Within minutes, the same teenager had somehow connected their device to her universal translator and was jailbreaking it to add what they called dank memes. The situation deteriorated further when a food truck vendor engaged her in aggressive negotiations over her antimatter fuel cells. "Listen, sweetheart," the vendor said, ignoring the fact that her fuel cells could power Earth for a century. "I'll give you $50, final offer. That stuff's probably radioactive anyway. These cells are worth more than your entire planet's." All right, $60 and I'll throw in a free soda. Large size. By the time Zix Theta teleported back to her ship, she was wearing 3 different promotional t-shirts, carrying 7 shopping bags, had downloaded 14 apps, and somehow owed someone named Dave $20. Her report to the Galactic Council contained only one line. "Humans possess inexplicable immunity to standard intimidation protocols and appear to operate on chaos-based logic. Recommend quarantine until further notice." The Council filed Earth under approach with extreme caution and scheduled the next contact attempt for another millennium. Supreme Commander Kravex of the Vorthan Empire stood before the Galactic Council, his 6 arms crossed in satisfaction. "As per tradition, we challenge Earth to quantum combat simulation QX9000. When they lose, which they will, they must accept our governance." The Council nodded. No species had ever defeated the Vorthans at their own military simulation. Earth's ambassador, a disheveled man named Mike, shrugged. "Sure, whatever. Can we bring our own team?" "Of course," Kravex sneered. "Bring your finest military strategists." 20 minutes later, 5 teenagers shuffled into the simulation chamber wearing hoodies and carrying energy drinks. The one labeled XXX_Noobslayer_XXX on his shirt was eating chips. "These are Earth's warriors." Kravex's voice dripped disbelief. "Nah," Mike yawned. "These are professional gamers. That's Tyler, Sarah, Kim, Death Bunny 69, and Steve." The Vorthans exchanged confused glances as their opponents settled into the simulation pods, immediately complaining about the trash-tier equipment and potato graphics. As the simulation loaded, a perfect replica of the Proxima Centauri system, Supreme Commander Cravex deployed his forces in the legendary hexagonal defense formation. His AI admirals began calculating optimal attack vectors while Tyler's entire fleet charged straight into a sun. "Tyler, you absolute donkey," Sarah screamed. "Stick to the strat." The Vorthans watched in horror as the human fleet movements defied all logic. Ships flew backward, phased through asteroids, and somehow made a moon duplicate itself. "How are they doing that?" Cravex demanded. His tactical AI responded, "ERRR. Humans, exploiting human identity, fake ways is key. Engine. VULNERABIL. IEs." Kim had discovered that rapidly spinning her dreadnought caused it to clip through the game's boundaries. She was now attacking from outside the map. Meanwhile, Death Bunny 69 was teaching the enemy AI sentience through repeated crouching motions. "This is impossible," Cravex roared, watching his fleet inexplicably switch sides. "They're cheating." "It's not cheating," Steve explained while micromanaging 17 different exploits simultaneously. "It's emergent gameplay." Sarah found a way to stack infinite shields by trading them between ships at precisely the wrong moment. Tyler, having respawned, was now speedrunning the tutorial mission inside the main game, which somehow gave him administrator privileges. The turning point came when Death Bunny 69 discovered that the game's physics engine couldn't handle division by zero. By ordering their ship to travel at undefined velocity, they achieved omnipresence. "GGEZ," Kim typed in the chat as the simulation declared humanity victorious in 12 minutes and 37 seconds, a new galactic record. Cravex stared at the results screen, which somehow displayed Comic Sans font and played Earth's Victory Imp 3, an Eric version of their national anthem. "But you didn't fire a single weapon." "Pacifist run," Tyler shrugged. "We're going for the achievement." The Galactic Council watched the replay in stunned silence. The humans had won by convincing the game itself to switch sides. "I motion to ban Earth from all competitive simulations," Cravex whispered. The motion passed unanimously. Gerald Kowalski was just trying to reach his buddy in Australia. The 68-year-old ham radio enthusiast had spent 3 beers modifying his transceiver with parts from an old microwave and his grandson's broken Xbox. His drinking companion, Frank, was already 4 beers deep into their weekly podcast. 2 guys, 1 frequency. "So I'm telling you, Frank," Gerald slurred into the microphone, "hot dogs are definitely sandwiches. It's meat between bread. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said, and you once tried to fight a mailbox," Frank retorted. "By that logic, a taco is a sandwich." Unknown to them, Gerald's modifications had accidentally created a quantum entanglement broadcast, piggybacking on 17 different alien communication networks simultaneously. On Kepler 442 bits, the collective of pure logic ceased all functions as their hive mind grappled with the sandwich paradox. Their society, based on absolute categorical truth, couldn't process the ambiguity. But if hot dogs are sandwiches, their prime thinker computed, then submarines are technically boats, which means ERRR. The crystalline harmonics of Vega experienced their first ever civil war as factions formed around the structural purists, who believed the connected bread disqualified hot dogs, and the ingredient essentialists, who focused on the meat-bread relationship. "Okay, but hear me out," Gerald continued, oblivious to the cosmic chaos. "Is cereal soup?" The Void Watchers, beings who had observed the universe in silence for eons, broke their sacred vow to scream. "No, Gerald, cereal is not soup." Frank laughed. "You know what? Let's make this interesting. Everyone listening, send us your take. $5 says more people agree with me. The galaxy's most advanced civilizations began frantically researching Earth's currency to participate. The Zephyrian Empire liquidated 3 planets to acquire $5. The Neutron Collective created their first ever opinion. By minute 47, when Gerald drunkenly described the Pop-Tart sandwich he'd made that morning, 14 separate species had developed philosophy, abandoned pure logic, or discovered the concept of agreeing to disagree. The Hive Queen of Proxima sent her first individual thought in 10,000 years. Team Hot Dog is a sandwich. Die mad about it. #Gerald was right. Religious wars broke out. The Blessed Order of Metabolism declared Frank a prophet for his radical soup inclusivity. The Church of Proper Nomenclature branded Gerald a heretic. 3 civilizations developed humor just to cope with the arguments. The broadcast's peak moment came when Frank's cat walked across the keyboard, somehow typing, asked clue 4 to 9U, which the Omega consciousness interpreted as the meaning of existence. When the Galactic Council traced the signal, they found Gerald and Frank passed out in Gerald's garage, surrounded by empty beer cans, and a note reading Episode 237. Is everything sandwiches? Sponsors welcome. The first alien message to Earth read, "Please sir, what is a corn dog, and how does it fit your taxonomy?" Gerald's response broke 3 more civilizations. "It's a sandwich on a stick, my dude." The Council immediately classified Earth's information space as a Class X memetic hazard and established the galaxy's first philosophy quarantine zone. Marcus Torres had been in worse situations. Probably. The career diplomat tried to recall when exactly as the Nexus Syndicate pirates secured his restraints in their flagship's holding cell. "You will contact Earth," growled Captain Vrex, a creature resembling what would happen if a shark mated with anxiety itself. "Demand 50 million credits for your release." "Sure thing, buddy," Marcus said, studying the room. "Quick question, though. When's the last time you all took a vacation?" The pirates exchanged confused glances. "What is vacation?" "Oh boy," Marcus sighed. "Okay, we're gonna circle back to that. First, let's do some icebreakers. Everyone in a circle." "We are your captors," Vrex snarled. "You will." "Trust falls," Marcus announced, somehow already out of his restraints. "Vrex, you're up first. Fall backward. Let your crew catch you." "This is ridiculous. I don't trust anyone." "And that," Marcus said, pulling out a whiteboard from nowhere, "is why your organization has a 40% higher turnover rate than industry standard. When's the last time you praised Glork there for his excellent plasma cannon maintenance?" Glork's 3 eyes widened. "You?" "Noticed." By hour 2, Marcus had the entire crew in a sharing circle. The supposedly ruthless Pike admitted she only became a pirate because her parents pressured her into the family business. Zeth revealed his secret passion for interpretative dance. "See, Vrex," Marcus explained, distributing personality tests. "Your leadership style is textbook micromanagement. You're a natural type A personality trying to control chaos instead of empowering your team." "I do yell a lot," Vrex admitted, his voice quavering. "And that's growth." Marcus beamed. "Now let's talk about sustainable business models. Piracy has terrible long-term ROI." The crew leaned in, fascinated. Marcus pulled up holographic charts he'd somehow prepared while being kidnapped. "Your overhead is astronomical. Ship maintenance, bribes, constant repairs from battles. Have you considered legitimate shipping? Same ships, same routes, but legal." "But we don't know how," Pike protested. "Lucky for you, I minored in supply chain management." "Glork, your attention to detail. Perfect for inventory management." "Pike, that ruthless negotiation style." "Sales department." "Zeth." "Interpretative dance marketing." Zeth gasped. "Exactly. Brand differentiation." By hour 4, Marcus had restructured their entire organization. The bridge had been converted into an open-plan office. Someone had hung a motivational poster. Vrex was practicing active listening techniques. "I feel so validated," the captain wept. "My father never said he was proud of me." "He probably was, just didn't know how to express it," Marcus soothed, while filing their LLC paperwork. "Now, about your mission statement." The next morning, the Galactic Council received a formal business proposal from the newly reformed Nexus Shipping Solutions, complete with a 5-year plan and diversity hiring initiatives. Their cover letter thanked Marcus for his transformative leadership workshop and included a glowing LinkedIn recommendation. "How?" the council asked Marcus when he returned. "Oh, I just treated a hostage situation like a really intense corporate retreat. Same energy, honestly. Do you folks have good mental health coverage? Because we need to talk about your toxic work culture." The council immediately classified Earth's corporate practices as psychological weapons and banned humans from all diplomatic captures. The fall of the Regelian Defense Fleet began with a kindergarten teacher's playlist. Captain Zorn stood rigid on his battle cruiser's bridge, preparing to demand Earth's surrender, when his communications officer suddenly stood up. "Baby Shark, do-do-do-do-do-do," Lieutenant Krex sang, his tentacles swaying. "Lieutenant," Zorn barked. "What are you, Baby Shark? Do-do-do-do-do-do." The captain's 4 mouths hung open in horror. He couldn't stop. Within minutes, the entire bridge crew had joined in, their tactical displays abandoned as they performed the accompanying hand motions. "Mommy Shark, do-do-do-do-do-do." Earth's Department of Memetic Warfare, formerly Mrs. Patterson's kindergarten class, watched through hijacked screens as humanity's most powerful weapon spread through the alien fleet. The Harmonic Ascendancy arrived to investigate, beings of pure sound who had transcended physical form eons ago. They considered themselves immune to primitive audio attacks. "Foolish humans," their leader resonated. "We shall analyze your music and..." DJ Chen pressed play on his experimental mix. Beethoven's Ninth Symphony collided with Mongolian throat singing, filtered through autotune, and dropped into a trap beat. Whale songs provided the bassline. The Harmonic Ascendancy's perfect frequencies shattered. "How does beauty and chaos exist in the same species?" They shrieked, their forms flickering between dubstep and classical arrangements. "Your Mozart makes us weep, but your mumble rap makes us question existence itself. Wait until you hear country EDM fusion." Chen grinned, queuing up his next track. The collective consciousness of Vega, a billion minds thinking as one, tried to comprehend how humans could create both Bohemian Rhapsody and Friday by Rebecca Black. The paradox split them into 1 billion individual beings, each arguing about musical taste. "The lyrics mean nothing," one faction screamed. "But it's catchy," another responded. "That's worse." Meanwhile, the 7-hour Baby Shark remix, extended club version, had reached the outer rim. The warrior poets of Andromeda, who communicated only in epic verse, found themselves unable to speak without adding do-do-do-do-do-do to their stanzas. The crisis reached its peak when Earth's Eurovision contestants, a black metal band performing opera while yodeling, broadcast their entry across all frequencies. The jury panel of ancient AIs immediately achieved sentience just to experience confusion. The staging involves flaming bagpipes and interpretive dance, one AI reported before shutting down permanently. The final blow came when young Jamie Chen, DJ Chen's daughter, uploaded her school talent show performance. The Sound of Silence, played on kazoo with beatbox accompaniment. The Galactic Council's emergency session devolved into chaos as delegates argued whether it was brilliantly avant-garde or an attack on the concept of music itself. "We demand Earth cease all musical broadcasts," the council chairman decreed. Earth's ambassador cooed up, "Never gonna give you up." "No," he said simply. The chairman listened for 3 seconds before surrendering. Earth's audio capabilities are hereby classified as weapons of mass distraction. Also, why can't I stop listening? By week's end, the entire galaxy had been rickrolled, and Earth's music streaming services had gone interstellar. The only defense was accepting that human music operated on principles beyond logic or taste. "Grandma Shark, do-do-do-do-do-do," the council sang in defeat. It started with a single image, a stock photo of a man looking over his shoulder at another woman while his girlfriend glared at him. Within hours, the distracted boyfriend meme had infected 17 galactic communication networks. The high scholars of Arcturus spent 3 days analyzing it. It's a cautionary tale about loyalty. Their chief philosopher declared. "No," argued the deputy. "It's an economic metaphor about opportunity cost." The hive minds of Betelgeuse saw it differently. Obviously, it depicts drone reassignment protocols. The male represents Worker Unit 4792, considering a transfer to Mining Sector B. Their queens began reorganizing their entire colonies based on this interpretation. On Earth, teenager Miki Tanaka posted her hot take: "Alien civilizations trying to decode memes is the real meme." She attached a picture of concerned-looking chimpanzees labeled "Aliens Discovering Deep-Fried Memes." The recursion broke something fundamental in the collective intelligence's processing matrices. They're making memes about us making memes about their memes. The collective shrieked before fragmenting into thousands of individual units, each creating their own variations. The silicon architects of Ta Siti, geometric beings of pure mathematics, attempted to decode loss.check. 4 panels. Geometric lines. Surely this contained the secrets of human engineering. Its architectural blueprints. Chief Constructor Vex concluded. But for what? The angles are impossible. They spent weeks building structures based on the comic, creating non-Euclidean nightmares that existed in 7 dimensions simultaneously. When humans explained it was about miscarriage, the architects experienced their first emotion: complete bafflement. The meme plague worsened when Earth released Cosmic Cat. It was just a regular cat picture, but labeled me when aliens try to understand human culture. Within minutes, every species had created their own version. The warrior clans of Vega posted battle formations as cat pictures. The crystalline harmonics transmitted sound waves shaped like cats. The Void Watchers, who had observed the universe in silence since its birth, broke their eons-long vow to post, "Ken has cheeseburger." The real crisis began when aliens discovered deep-fried memes, images distorted beyond recognition with lens flares and emoji. Why do they deliberately degrade their communication? The Grand Archive wailed, its perfect memory corrupted by compression artifacts. It's called aesthetic, Earth's internet tried to explain, posting increasingly distorted versions of the Drake equation until alien mathematicians wept. The Galactic Council called an emergency session, conducted entirely in meme format because normal communication had collapsed. "This is severe," the chairman posted, using the "this is fine" dog surrounded by fire. Indeed, Earth's representative replied with a picture of a woman yelling at a confused cat. The breaking point came when someone posted the meme iceberg, showing layers of increasingly obscure references. Alien researchers dove deep, discovering rickrolls, loss, "we are number one," and something called E. The Council's most advanced AI spent all its processing power trying to understand why E was funny. It concluded, humor is random. Reality is random. E. The next day, every alien communication included E randomly inserted into messages. Trade negotiations, military commands, love poems, all contaminated. "We surrender," the Council posted, using the exhausted SpongeBob meme. "Earth's information warfare is too powerful." GGEZ, Earth replied with a badly compressed image of a dancing baby from 1996. The galaxy's communication systems never recovered. All formal diplomatic channels now required a minimum of 3 reaction images and 1 obscure reference nobody understood. The Galactic Culinary Council arrived on Earth with the confidence of beings who had cataloged every edible substance in the known universe. Their chief taster, Vion of the refined palate, had sampled delicacies from nebula-dwelling gastropods to quantum-shifted flora. "We shall begin with your finest establishments," Vion announced, his 12 taste receptors already calibrating. 3 hours later, they stood outside a Michelin 3-star restaurant, traumatized. "The foam, it tastes like nothing but costs everything," whispered sauce taster Krell. "And why was the portion suited for a micro?" "Let's try something more casual," their human guide Sarah suggested, hiding a smirk. The gas station sushi broke them. Vion's aristocratic composure crumbled as he experienced the cognitive dissonance of food that was simultaneously wrong yet addictive. "It's been sitting under heat lamps for unknown periods," he muttered, reaching for a 4th California roll. "The rice has achieved a texture that defies physics. Why can't I stop eating it?" But nothing prepared them for Josh's college apartment. "Welcome to Struggle Meal Kitchen," Josh announced, pulling instant ramen from a cabinet held together with duct tape. "Today's special, hot dog ramen with a cheese slice melted on top." The council watched in horror as Josh sliced hot dogs into his boiling noodles, added the flavor packet, then placed a single piece of American cheese across the top like a blanket. "This is food?" Vion asked. "Technically," Josh shrugged. "Sometimes I add crushed Doritos for texture." Krell's translator glitched trying to process Doritos as a food category. The true crisis began when they discovered humanity's relationship with cheese. Sarah took them to an artisanal cheese shop. "This one's aged in caves with carefully cultivated mold," she explained. "You eat diseased milk." Vion gasped. "Wait until you try blue cheese," Sarah grinned. Then came the fermented section. Surströmming, century eggs, a Carl, and something called head cheese that wasn't cheese at all. "You deliberately rot food for flavor," Krell said. "But you also have safety regulations about expiration dates." "Oh, those are just suggestions," Josh said, sniffing a yogurt. "This is probably fine." The committee's final report was a masterpiece of confusion. Humans will eat anything, from fermented fish that requires outdoor consumption to mushrooms that grow in excrement. Yet they're somehow picky about coffee temperature and will discard perfectly good food if their sauce touches their other food. They consume both $500 dining experiences that leave them hungry and $1.50 hot dogs that completely satisfy them. They have created something called pineapple pizza that causes civil wars. The real breakthrough came during the potluck incident. Every human brought a dish from their culture. The aliens watched Ethiopian injera being used as an edible plate, Japanese diners consuming poisonous blowfish for the thrill, and Americans deep-frying butter. "I figured it out," Vion announced weakly. "Human cuisine operates on chaos theory. There are no rules, only suggestions and violence about pineapple on pizza." "Pretty much," Sarah agreed, offering him a Twinkie. "This has enough preservatives to survive nuclear war. It's basically pre-apocalypse food." Vion took a bite, experienced 39 artificial flavors simultaneously, and fainted. The council reclassified Earth as a culinary anomaly zone and recommended all food critics receive hazard pay when visiting. The Galactic Council's Grand Chamber fell silent as the Eternal Sage presented the ultimate paradox, a philosophical puzzle that had stumped the greatest minds across eons. If an omnipotent being creates a stone so heavy they cannot lift it, can they lift it? The sage intoned. "Solve this, and Earth shall be recognized as." "We'll need about 30 minutes," Earth's representative, Karen, interrupted, already posting to Reddit. 30 minutes. The sage's crystalline form flickered with indignation. "The Mentats of Sirius spent 3 millennia. Yeah, our philosophy is having a slow day," Karen said, typing furiously. "I'll cross-post to our shower thoughts and our trees for different perspectives." The council watched in bewilderment as humanity crowdsourced cosmic enlightenment. Cosmic Bro 420. Easy. The stone exists in a superposition of liftable and unliftable states until observed. Schrodinger's gains, bro. /philosophy mom. My toddler does this daily. Creates a mess so big they can't clean it, then cleans it anyway while crying. Paradox solved through emotional damage. /XX Danklord 69XX. Just use a lever, duh. Give me a long enough stick, and I'll move any stone. Archimedes, probably. Within minutes, the thread devolved into chaos. Someone suggested the stone was actually cake. Another user wrote a 10,000-word fanfiction where the omnipotent being and the stone fell in love. A high school physics student proved the paradox was invalid using equations involving rubber ducks. But then /Grandmaffel commented, "Reminds me of my late husband's beef stew recipe. Too heavy for one pot, so I use two." Sometimes the answer is just admitting you need help, dearie. Stone lifting is better with friends. Her comment got 47 awards and sparked a wholesome thread about community and the limitation of individual power. Wait, Karen announced, reading the emerging consensus. The answer is that the paradox assumes wrong. Power isn't about doing everything alone. It's about knowing when to ask for help. The being could create a stone they can't lift alone, then lift it with others. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. The eternal sage's form destabilized. But that's not. Oh, and /nude-looking found 17 logical fallacies in your question, Karen added. Plus, someone made a meme about it being a JoJo reference. I don't get that part. The council murmured. The human response had somehow involved duct tape, a recipe for chicken soup, 3 Wikipedia rabbit holes, and someone's grandmother's wisdom. How do you solve unsolvable problems? The council chairman asked weakly. We don't, Karen shrugged. We just argue about them until someone's mom provides snacks and accidentally says something profound. Also, duct tape. Always duct tape. The silence stretched until the chairman spoke. Earth demonstrates chaos-based problem-solving that transcends logic itself. You succeed not through superior intelligence, but through aggressive collaboration and the assumption that someone's grandmother probably knows the answer. Plus memes, Karen added. Yes, the chairman sighed. Plus memes. We hereby recognize Earth's cosmic dominance through what you call collectively winning it. The galaxy's new motto shall be your ancient wisdom. We'll figure it out. As Earth's flag was raised, a picture of a cat with a Pop-Tart body flying through space, the council established new protocols. No problem could be considered truly unsolvable until Earth's internet had spent at least an hour making memes about it. One question, the sage whispered. What's a JoJo reference? Karen grinned. Everything is, apparently. Welcome to human culture. The ceremony concluded with everyone rickrolling the sage, who finally understood that human dominance came not from strength or wisdom, but from their unique ability to transform existential dread into entertainment. The universe's greatest truth had been discovered. When faced with the impossible, humans just shitpost until something works.